to the workout of the week. I'm Mason.
And I'm Stacy, and we're both exercise techs at the Fitness and Wellness Center, where we are both also interns.
This week we're going to go over some basic exercises that you can go do at home with stuff you find around your house. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go over the squat. I'm going to hand it over to Stacy.
So first squat, we're going to do our bodyweight squat. When you're doing a squat, you want to make sure your feet are about hip width apart. If it's easier for you, you can turn your ankles over to the side, and you can use that angle to be able to make that work better for you. So for a squat, you want to be focusing on breathing down your hips first and not letting your knees go over your ankles. You also want to make sure to keep your chest up. So Mason's going to demonstrate by keeping his core straight and keeping his core nice and controlled, going straight down and then back up. So keeping that nice controlled motion, he's going to get to parallel or a little bit below, and he's going to repeat that one more time. You should be feeling this in your quads, making sure that your knees, again, are staying behind your ankles, and using your core to keep that balance. So for modification for this, you can also use a chair. So if you need to have a way to make this easier for you, we're going to use a chair, and he's going to sit back right down and do it to the edge. So a squat's a lot like sitting into a chair. So we're going to lead with our hips first and bring it down to the chair, and then back up.
Next we're going to move on to the deadlift.
So for a deadlift, a lot of times we want to use weight for that. So since we don't have weights at home, we're going to be using a backpack. So for a deadlift, you want to be a little bit wider than shoulders width apart, like Mason is right now. The first thing you're going to do is, just like the squat, use your hips to go down first, and you're going to bend down to pick it up, and then use your legs first to drive up, and then open up with your back. So you want to be keeping your back flat the whole time. Again, keeping your knees behind your toes. You should be feeling this in your back here and also somewhat in your legs. Perfect. So then our last exercise is going to be a push-up. So the push-up can be done in two different ways. First, we're going to show a regular push-up. So you want to be having your hands right in line with your shoulders, keeping a flat line throughout your body, making sure your hips are in line with your spine. And we're going to go down until both fists elbow up the chest, and then back up, and then back down, and back up. So I'm keep a controlled movement, keeping your core tight so you can be able to make the exercise effective and work your shoulders as well as your core and the rest of your body as well. The modification for this, so for starting out, you're going to be having a basic similar position. You're not keeping your back flat. Instead, you're going to be on your knees instead of on your toes. And you're going to do the same thing, keeping your hands around your chest level, about 90 degrees out, and go back up. And about chest length down, and back up. So those are 3 exercises, and now we're going to do some stretches to be able to combat that soreness.
Okay, so now we're going to go over some stretches. The first thing that you should know, all the workouts we've gone over today, you're going to want to do 3 sets of 10 reps. So now we're going to do some stretches that Stacy is going to demonstrate for us. First one we're going to do is going to be the quad stretch. This one's very simple. You stand on one leg, raise one leg up, left or right, it doesn't matter, and you want to use the same hand to hold that leg up. So obviously Stacy here, right leg is up, right leg's being held. One modification for this, if you can't stand, if you can't hold your balance, simply use a chair, a couch, a table, anything that is a solid base that you can put your weight on while still getting a good stretch. Okay, next we're going to go over the hamstrings. Stacy's going to demonstrate how to do the hamstrings. What you want to do is you want to have your feet outside of shoulder width apart, and what you're going to do is you're going to take both hands and lean towards your left foot or right foot. Really focusing on breathing out, and this will make the stretch a little bit better. So as you can see, she's leaning down, both hands towards one foot, breathing out, and it's going to work your hamstrings or the back of your legs. You can do left, right, center. You can do it any variation you want. Just make sure you're getting both legs equally. Next, we're going to move on to lower back stretch? Okay. So for a lower back stretch, we're going to do a couple yoga positions. This one's going to be called the downward dog. You put your hands and your feet on the ground, and what you're going to do is you're going to look straight through your legs. As you can see, Stacy's going to look back and look between her feet back here. Really pushing with your hands and digging in with your feet to kind of fold yourself up more. Next one, we're going to go to a chest stretch, chest and abdominals. This one's going to be called the cobra pose. What you're going to do, simply plant your feet in the ground and push up with your hands. You're going to literally come up like a cobra would. This is working your chest and your abs. You're going to hold all of these stretches for about 10 seconds. Well, take that back. About 15 to 20 seconds. You really want to get the good stretch. Next, we're going to go into what's called the child's pose. This one's real simple and it stretches out your shoulders, your lower back, even a little bit of your upper back too. What you're going to do, you're going to do a modified hands and knees, and you're going to sink back into it, pushing your head as close as you can to the ground, just like Stacy's doing. It's working everything from basically your lower back to your shoulders. Next, we're going to go into the, what are we doing? Or is that it? Oh, that's it. Super. All right. We have one more for you, but that's going to be all for today. So, thank you for joining us this week. I'm Mason.
And I'm Stacy.
See you next week.